Hey guys, HDvee here, and welcome to a brand new video. Today we've got quite a few things to go over. redevelopment has once again been posting some cryptic messages about Pokemon Legends ZA. We also have a pretty big mystery dungeon rumor to go over as well. There's a lot of things to take a look at today. If you're excited for the video though, make sure to drop a like down below. Let's try to hit 500 likes, it really helps out. Leave a comment with your thoughts on anything we cover in today's video. Subscribe if you're brand new, ring the notification bell. With all of that out of the way, let's get into the video, and I really hope that you enjoy. So, starting things off, as I said, once again, redevelopment has been posting cryptic information about Pokemon Legends ZA. This time, a little bit more about the potential release kind of window of the upcoming Pokemon game. But either way, we have redevelopment here posting, saying, kindly reminder, we still got nothing from Ikaku, which of course is the code name for Pokemon Legends ZA by far. You could compare this with the Hayabusa situation. So, I'm pretty sure Hayabusa is the code name of Pokemon Legends Arceus, but I don't know really what he means by the Legends Arceus situation. But either way, it goes on to say, back when we had already known all new Pokemon and hatched our riddles, which also means that Ikaku will not come out early next year. So I think this is him referring to the fact that we kind of guessed all of his, all the new Pokemon and all the kind of riddles and stuff that he posted about Legends Arceus. So I think it's a little bit like that. But then again, he's also reiterating the fact that Legends ZA is not coming out early next year. But again, he goes into a little bit more detail as well later on in the post. But yeah, this is kind of a little bit of nothingness, I guess. It doesn't really make much sense. He's just once again saying, you know, we've still got nothing about Legends ZA, and we're not getting like the game until late next year. Anyway, we have a couple of people replying to it as well. So we have Time Is After Us saying, you don't know anything. You didn't even know that it was a Kalos game, but sure you somehow know that it's not coming early in the year, right? And he says, which means you did not read our post, which again, that's a whole situation. He was clearly referencing Generation 5 stuff and things like that, which he was wrong. He's just, I think he's just a little bit too proud to admit it. And then also we have T-Town95 saying, well, when will we get more information? He says, better check it out during the World Championships, but not guaranteed. So that's a little bit also up in the air. Like, he's just kind of, he's not giving us anything definite. He's saying, you know, you better check out the World Championships, which of course is next month in August. But then he's saying, but not guaranteed. But surely, with it being this close, Pokemon themselves would know if they're revealing more information about Legends ZA at the World Championships or not. It's very likely, because we always get new information at the World Championships. It's usually kind of competitive stuff, but because there's not going to be any competitive stuff in Pokemon Legends ZA, most likely, it will probably just be some extra information about the game. But again, where does that leave the potential August Pokemon Presents? Because then we have this person here saying, what do you know? And we have redevelopment saying, starters guaranteed, because the goods produced and will be on sale in the Pokemon Center this year. So the starters are guaranteed to be happening this year. Like, we're guaranteed to get them at some point this year, because the goods of them, so like the merchandise and stuff of the starter Pokemon, are already being produced, and they're going to go on sale in the Pokemon Center this year, which of course they would have to. And then we have this person here saying out November 2025, and we have redevelopment saying not that late as far as I'm concerned. So we're not having to wait until November for Pokemon Legends ZA, according to redevelopment. And then we also have this person saying before the end of the first half, so obviously the first half of the year of 2025, and he says after A. And then someone says spring A or summer A, and he doesn't reply to that. So it's either between April and November. So April, so it'd be May, June, July, August, September, October. It could be one of those months, or it could be between August and November. You know, so it's, according to redevelopment, it's one of those. I'm more inclined to believe he means April, and it's going to be released maybe in the summer at some point, like maybe June or July. And like I say, the whole year is just going to be really weird for Pokemon, like no kind of Christmas game 2 years in a row. And also 2026 will then bring Generation 10, and then that's when we'll get like a Christmas game again. But yeah, this is kind of what redevelopment is saying. Again, you can choose to believe him or not. I completely understand if you don't believe him, because his messages now are even more vague than before, and he's just kind of reiterating the same information. Obviously this time he's just said that it's not coming out November 2025. He's not said that before. He's just always said after A, which again is still cryptic in itself. He could say after April, he could say after August, but he's not doing that. And I'm not sure if that's just, if he's wrong, you know, like let's say he says August and, you know, it comes out in like, I don't know, June. then he could have said, you know, after April. So he's just doing that again. I think he's being more cryptic now because he's been wrong in the past. So he's trying to make it as like scarce as possible, just so that he can't be wrong again. I don't know. That's just kind of the vibe I'm getting. But either way, it's not coming out November 2025. Apparently, it's coming out before that, and then after either April or August. That's all we're kind of like getting from this information. And the rest of it, like I say, the starters. But as well as that, though, he says, obviously, that he says here, like, what do you know? He says that obviously the stars are guaranteed, and he also says you better check the World Championships. Does that mean we're not getting a Pokemon Presents as well? Because he doesn't say, like, better check the Presents or anything. He says better check the World Championships, and the stars are guaranteed as well. So does that mean that we're getting the starters at the World Championships, or are we just getting the Presents, like, late this year in, like, September or October time, and then that's when we're going to get the starters? Like, because he says not guaranteed, so if he doesn't reference a Presents, he references the World Championships, but it's not guaranteed. Do we just get nothing next month? And then we might not get a present until, like I say, September, October, November time. And that reveals the starters, and then that's it for this year. And then, like I say, the game comes out next May or next June or July or whatever. That could also be the situation. Like, we already have seen Pokemon reveal a ton of stuff for their mobile games. Pokemon Sleep, Pokemon Masters, Pokemon Unite, Pokemon Go. They've been revealing stuff about that constantly over the last few weeks, even Scarlet and Violet as well, with all the raid updates and everything. So that might just simply because we're not getting a present, and then maybe at Worlds we get a small Legends EA trailer which just reveals the starters, maybe a new Mega Evolution or something like that, and then that's just it for this year. I could generally see that, and yeah, so maybe we just don't get a presents this year, but he even says not guaranteed. So I don't know. I mean, I'm still hopeful for a presents this year, because there's still a lot of stuff like about Pokemon Pocket that they need to show us and stuff, and I don't think they're going to show that at Worlds. I think that's just going to be its own kind of entity, and they're just going to need to reveal that in a presents. And obviously, because it's coming out this year as well, would they really leave a presents till like October, November time? Because then, let's say Pocket came out in like November, would they really just leave it till that? I just don't think that's going to be the case. So I'm still hopeful for a presents. Ridliku obviously hasn't spoken about it, but either way, it's not coming out apparently in November. It's going to come out before that. And also, yeah, we're supposedly going to get some news at the World Championships, but again, not guaranteed. But either way, that's what Ridliku said. Let me know your thoughts on it. Like I say, there's not a lot to go off of, but either way, that's what he said. Finishing things off for today's video, we also have a pretty big rumor to go over about Pokemon Mystery Dungeon as well. And they've also kind of added like a little image as well with the kind of location and the base and everything like that. But either way, this was posted on 4chan a few days ago now. It's posted on the 10th of July, and it's titled New Mystery Dungeon. Again, posted on 4chan, so take it with a massive grain of salt, as always. It says, Mystery Dungeon, Guardians of the Crystal. The 18th of June, they started the last beta test. So, I'm assuming that means this year. They started the last beta test, so hopefully we'd get some sort of announcement at some point. And it says, the global release is the second quarter of 2025. Current internal schedule is 25th of April. So, I mean, the second quarter of 2025 is in April, so I don't really know what it means by that. But I guess if Legends EA did come out, let's say June, July, and we got a Mystery Dungeon game next year as well, like, which might happen. Like, the Switch 2 is going to be out probably in the first half of next year. You know, you'd like to think. If Legends EA comes out summertime, you know, June, July, whatever, and then we also get like a spin-off Pokemon game as well, just how we got Pokémon for the Nintendo Switch, maybe we get like a Mystery Dungeon for the Switch 2 or something like that. Like, that could happen. It's just we know we're at least getting Legends EA next year. The main character is Cyclizar, which is obviously very out there. You can choose difficulty at the start of the save data between trainer and champion. So difficulty settings in a Mystery Dungeon game, that would be kind of cool to see. I mean, just in general, difficulty settings in a Pokemon game would be cool to see. But either way, that's apparently happening. So there's a leader is locked until Orthworm missing book mission, book color choice. I don't really know what that means about the leader being locked. It says formal team of 3. The player can choose the other team members from a 20 Pokemon pool. Starters only from odd generations. So that would be generation 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. And then the other 20 would be from a pool. So you actually have a team of 3 this time instead of a team of 2. And yeah, you can actually choose all your team members as well, just like obviously you could before. The third partner available after the third main quest. So I'm assuming you start with you, and then you get a partner, and then you do the third main quest, and you get another partner, and then that is your trio. That is your team. That is your Mystery Dungeon team. The story plot: during the yearly commemoration, you will materialize in front of the hero statue. After that moment, paradoxes start appearing around the world. Player will solve the mystery and restoring its original form. I don't really know what that means. Something about restoring forms of the paradox, even though they're completely different Pokemon. Shards allow the player to change Pokemon type once per dungeon, no floor limit. So you get to change your type. Is that like, I'm assuming like terrestrialization maybe? The central hub is Heirloom Village. The town is near to a crater where time before a mysterious Pokemon announced an imminent disaster. So is that like a sort of Absol situation? Something I'm assuming. The base's neighborhood contains different style of bases where you can interact with other rescue teams. I don't know if that means like online rescue teams or it just means like other NPC rescue teams. It's possible to edit the base style and furniture similar to Animal Crossing via Caroline and the Cherry Shop. So that would be kind of cool. So you'd actually be able to design your mystery dungeon base and everything like that. I think that would be really, really cool to see. The points of interest are the Kecleon Shop, the Golden Go Cavo, the Pole Tea House. I quite like that, the Pole Tea House. Primate Meditation School, Skavilion & Co. and Rever Room Travel. Missions are available via the Square's mission boards and delivered under certain conditions by another Pokemon. The first antagonists are Capskid, which is Skavilion and Co.'s son. Late game antagonist is a Tinkaton, which is the Dazzling team. The first end game event with Ogerpon. The graphic is in a nice 3D style with classic grid style in the dungeons. Very minimal cutscenes with a lot of black screens. I don't really know what that means. Maybe like a lot of loading or something like that. Bosses are challenging and the items are very important. Had no chance to take pictures. The map is simplified but very accurate. A lot of minor details and creatures missing. So this is the map, the design. So you got your library up here. You got your shop here. There's a mission. I'm assuming the mission board is over here. This is the square. You have a school down here. This is the tea place. Obviously the Pole Tea House. You got a statue over here, which is obviously where you materialize. This is your base over here, and this is some other bases as well. So, yeah, that is apparently what it looks like. I mean, this sounds like a very subpar mystery dungeon game, in my opinion. Like, if we were to get another new mystery dungeon, this would be very, very lackluster, in my opinion. It doesn't sound great. Like, I like the team of 3 and stuff like that, but I feel like if we get a new mystery dungeon game, it has to have, like, a decent online mode. Again, in my personal opinion, it would be the best game ever if we literally got, like, a massive open world. You join as a rescue team with like some of your friends, so you could have like a team of 3, a team of 4 or something like that, and then you go around, you accept missions, and then you can go and do like bases, and you all control like one character, and you can all like go off in different places, and then, or you could like come back and like go as a team or something, and you have to complete like the different missions. Like that would be so good. It will never happen, but that would be like the sickest thing ever. I'd absolutely love it. But that is something I could see happening in a new mystery dungeon. Like this seems very like much of a step backwards in my opinion. Like there's nothing really brand new here apart from the difficulty settings and stuff like that. It's not really anything to get people like hyped and stuff. Obviously there'd be like more Pokemon and stuff, you know, like first end game event with Ogerpon. Like there'd obviously be Generation 9 creatures and stuff in this game, but it just doesn't really have that vibe. It doesn't have that like it factor, you know. Whereas like an online kind of one, I think really wouldn't get people really hyped. But yeah, I mean, I could see a mystery dungeon, whether this is true or not, I could see a mystery dungeon dropping on the Switch 2, along with Legends ZA next year. You know, maybe it's made by a different team, you know, it's outsourced, and then we get that next year, and then obviously 2026 rolls around and we get Generation 10. Again, there's no reason as to why we couldn't get a spin-off this year. Again, it's very unlikely. We're in July. We might not even get an August Presents. We might not even get anything in August. So again, it is very unlikely, but you never know. But either way, let me know your thoughts on this rumor here. Would you like to see another mystery dungeon game? Which again, I assume would come to both consoles, really. If it came out in the second quarter of 2025 and the console was already out, I would assume it'd come to both. But either way, would you like to see a new mystery dungeon game? And then let me know your thoughts on all the Riddler Coup stuff as well. Again, completely understand if you choose not to believe him. He's very vague at the moment. I mean, he's always been vague with riddles and stuff, but right now he's just kind of reiterating the same stuff. And also, yeah, he's just kind of giving us a little bit of information every now and again. But either way, apparently it's coming out before 2025's November, and we might be getting information at World Championships, and there's no mention of a presents as well, so we might not even get that. But either way, let me know your thoughts on that. Leave a like if you enjoyed us. Try to hit 500 likes. Leave a comment. Subscribe if you're brand new. Ring the notification bell for daily Pokemon content. Have a great rest of your day, and until next time, peace.